Starseed from Gaia, you are moving very soon, and the source is revealing the sign that only you can recognize. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation. Pay attention now, because this change is already forming around you, and your soul has been preparing for it. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to unlock Starseed potential and recognize the personal signs guiding your next relocation. But here's the first revelation. The repeated inner knowing, sudden endings, and unmistakable pull toward a new place are not random. They are confirmation that your path is shifting. You didn't find this transmission by mistake. Like this message to signal to your star family, I'm ready. Comment 999 if your cosmic remembrance is returning. This isn't just a message, it's a point of reconnection. Your soul's been waiting for this. You are not here by accident. Some transmissions don't come through words, but through frequency. If something stirred within you just now, you may be ready to receive the Arcturian Carrier Wave Protocol. 7 guided nights to cross the Whisper Threshold. This simple, easy-to-navigate app guides you through ancient Arcturian techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance, and includes special bonuses to accelerate your journey. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. And as you remain here, notice what is happening inside your body. There may be a quiet pressure behind your eyes, a warmth in your chest, a sudden memory, or an almost unexplainable certainty that something is changing. Do not rush past that sensation. The mind may try to explain it away because the mind prefers what is familiar, even when the familiar has become too small for your soul. Let the sensation be present without forcing it to become a conclusion. You do not have to name every movement the moment it begins. Some truths are like seeds beneath the soil. They are real before they are visible, and they require stillness before they reveal the shape of what they are becoming. Take a slow breath and allow your awareness to descend from the busy surface of thought into the deeper chamber of your being. Notice whether your body contracts around the message or softens toward it. Notice whether you feel pressured to act immediately or quietly invited to listen. There is wisdom in this distinction. Genuine inner guidance may ask for courage, but it does not need to create chaos. It may challenge you, but it does not need to humiliate you. It may lead you into the unknown, but it does not demand that you abandon common sense, responsibility, or care for your physical life. For many starseeds, disconnection was never evidence of failure. It was the result of carrying an inner signal through an environment that constantly demanded external proof. You were taught to measure your worth by productivity, approval, certainty, and visible results. But the deeper layers of your being do not communicate through those measurements. They communicate through resonance, timing, repeated symbols, inner movement, and the unmistakable feeling that a former version of your life can no longer contain you. You may have spent years believing that your inability to fit into certain systems meant something was wrong with you. Perhaps you were called too sensitive when you were actually perceiving layers others had learned to ignore. Perhaps you were called unrealistic when your imagination was attempting to show you a possibility beyond the limits of inherited belief. Perhaps you were told to settle down when your spirit was trying to keep you awake. Scripture says, "Be still and know that I am God." Stillness is not emptiness. It is the place where the signal becomes distinguishable from the static. The world often rewards those who can move quickly, speak loudly, and appear certain, but the soul frequently moves through subtler channels. It may place a quiet question in your heart and allow that question to remain until an old answer no longer satisfies you. It may bring you to the same lesson through different people, different locations, and different seasons until you finally recognize the pattern. What feels like delay may be the gradual refinement of your perception. You are learning not merely to receive a message, but to become clear enough to carry it. This is why so many sensitive souls feel restless just before a major transition. The restlessness is not always dissatisfaction with life. Sometimes it is the pressure of a new timeline beginning to form around you. Your energy field starts releasing agreements that once kept you safe but now keep you stationary. Old identities lose their emotional charge. Collaborations that once felt important begin to feel distant. Places you once tolerated begin to drain you. And the future begins sending impressions before it sends evidence. It can feel like standing on a shoreline while the tide quietly changes beneath your feet. Nothing dramatic may happen at first. The same buildings remain around you. The same names may appear on your phone. You may continue performing the same duties, yet something in the atmosphere has changed. The current is no longer carrying you toward the old destination. Your spirit can sense the direction before your eyes can see the road. Do not shame yourself for feeling unsettled during this stage. The caterpillar does not call the chrysalis a failure because it can no longer live as it once did. The shell becomes uncomfortable because a larger form is pressing against it. In the same way, the discomfort you feel may be the pressure of expansion against an identity built for survival. You are not necessarily losing yourself. You may be losing the architecture that prevented your deeper self from being fully expressed. Most people interpret this period as confusion because they expect change to arrive with a clear announcement. But transformation often begins as an energetic departure. Your body remains in the room while your consciousness has already begun crossing a threshold. You may still be completing responsibilities, answering messages, and moving through familiar routines. Yet, internally, a greater movement has started. This invisible departure can create a strange sense of living between worlds. One part of you is still honoring the lessons of the past, while another part is receiving instructions from a future you cannot yet describe. You may feel tenderness for who you used to be, mixed with an inability to return to that identity. This is not hypocrisy. It is transition. A tree does not betray its roots when it grows new branches. It carries the roots forward in a different expression. During this interval, be patient with the unfinished spaces. Not every empty space needs to be filled immediately. Not every unanswered question needs to be solved before you continue. There are passages in life where the old bridge has disappeared and the new bridge has not yet formed. Faith, in this sense, is not pretending that the gap does not exist. Faith is trusting that the gap is part of the crossing. The distortion occurs when you demand that your outer life confirm the shift before you allow yourself to trust it. You keep asking for one more sign, one more guarantee, one more person to validate what your own field has already registered. In doing so, you hand your authority to the very reality you are being prepared to move beyond. There is nothing wrong with seeking wise counsel, gathering information, or examining your choices carefully. Discernment is sacred. But there is a difference between discernment and endless postponement. Discernment clarifies the next step. Fear keeps moving the threshold farther away. Fear says you must understand the entire journey before you begin. Inner wisdom often says you know enough to take the next honest step. The Arcturian perspective is that every transition begins as a frequency adjustment. Before an address changes, before an opportunity appears, before a relationship reorganizes, your inner coordinates change first. The system that once matched your energy begins to lose alignment. This can feel like delay, isolation, or uncertainty, but it may actually be the space between one harmonic pattern and another. Imagine tuning a radio between stations. For a moment, there is static. The old transmission is fading, but the new one has not yet become clear. If you panic during the static, you may turn the dial back to what is familiar. Yet if you remain steady, the frequency gradually resolves into a clearer sound. Your transition may be working in the same way. The noise is not proof that nothing is happening. It may be evidence that your inner instrument is being tuned. This is why you should be gentle with yourself when old routines suddenly feel strangely foreign. Your consciousness is recalibrating its sense of what belongs. The places, people, and habits that once seemed natural may no longer produce the same resonance. You are not required to hate them. You are only being shown that their role in your journey may be complete. Your disconnection has often been reinforced by fear of remembering. To remember your deeper origin is not merely to imagine distant worlds or other dimensions. It is to recognize that you were never designed to live entirely from inherited programming. It is to feel the difference between a desire placed inside you by conditioning and a directive emerging from the quiet center of your being. It is to understand that your sensitivity is not a flaw, your intuition is not an inconvenience, and your need for meaning is not excessive. Remembering may happen in layers. First, you remember what brings you alive. Then you remember what repeatedly drains you. Then you remember the promises you made to yourself before fear taught you to negotiate them away. Eventually, you remember that your deepest purpose is not always a single occupation or public role. It is a quality of presence. You may be here to bring order into confusion, compassion into harshness, courage into uncertainty, or healing into spaces where people have forgotten how to feel. The soul does not always shout its mission. More often, it leaves a trail of recurring tenderness. What breaks your heart in the world may reveal what you are here to restore. What continually fascinates you may reveal the language through which your gifts wish to move. What you have survived may become the doorway through which you help others survive without losing their light. Part of you has known for a long time that you are approaching movement. Yet another part has resisted because movement changes the agreements you have made with others. If you grow, someone may accuse you of changing. If you become clearer, someone may no longer have access to the confused version of you. If you follow the opening, you may have to release the explanation you once used to justify staying. This is why liberation can feel like grief. Even when you are leaving a limiting pattern, you may mourn the identity that learned how to function inside it. You may mourn the years spent waiting, the approval you never received, or the version of the future you once imagined with people who could not walk there with you. Let the grief move through without interpreting it as a command to return. Tears can cleanse the lens through which you see the next horizon. That is why the number one sign is not always something appearing outside you. The deepest sign is the collapse of your tolerance for what repeatedly disconnects you from yourself. You begin to feel an internal refusal, not anger, not drama, not the need to prove anything, just a clean knowing that the next version of your life cannot be built from the same frequency as the previous one. This refusal may appear as a quiet boundary. You stop explaining why disrespect hurts. You stop calling exhaustion loyalty. You stop confusing availability with love. You stop using spiritual language to excuse behavior that your body has already identified as harmful. The sacred does not ask you to remain in continual self-betrayal. Sometimes the most spiritual act is to step away from the altar where you have been sacrificing your own peace. The first shift is recognizing the distortion. Observe what scrambles your signal. Notice which environments make you question your intelligence, which conversations pull you into fear, and which habits leave you unable to hear your own thoughts. You do not need to condemn these patterns. You only need to see them clearly. Awareness begins separating your authentic frequency from the noise you absorbed. You can begin with a simple, energetic inventory. After an interaction, ask yourself whether you feel expanded, contracted, scattered, or peacefully tired. After spending time in a place, ask whether you can hear your own inner voice more clearly or whether you feel compelled to perform. After repeating a habit, ask whether it restores your capacity or merely distracts you from a wound. These questions are not invitations to judge every experience. They are ways of gathering information from the body, which often notices misalignment before the mind is willing to admit it. Some of the thoughts moving through your mind were never born from your own consciousness. They came to family expectations, social pressure, old survival responses, and repeated messages about what is realistic for someone like you. When these thoughts say, "You are too late, you are imagining this," or "You must remain where you are," pause before accepting them as truth. A thought can be familiar without being aligned. A fear can be loud without being prophetic. You might imagine placing each thought on a leaf and allowing it to float down a stream. You do not need to fight the thought or build a courtroom around it. You can simply say, "This is a message passing through. I will decide whether it belongs to me." Romans 12 speaks of being transformed by the renewing of the mind. Renewal is not the violent destruction of every old thought, it is the patient practice of choosing which thoughts deserve authority. The second shift is the awakening of the blueprint. Your deeper intelligence does not always return as a complete memory. It may return as attraction. You feel drawn to certain stars, sounds, languages, geometric patterns, technologies, healing practices, or bodies of knowledge. You encounter a phrase that feels strangely familiar. You meet someone and experience recognition before history. You enter a place and your nervous system responds as if it has been there before. Pay attention to the qualities beneath the attraction. Is the pattern calling you toward greater service, greater clarity, and greater responsibility? Is it helping you become more compassionate and grounded? Or is it merely feeding the wish to escape the difficult work of being human? The blueprint is not here to separate you from the earth. It is here to help you bring a more conscious pattern into the earth. These moments are not instructions to abandon discernment. They are invitations to listen more carefully. Your blueprint is not a fantasy that requires you to reject ordinary life. It is a pattern of qualities you came here to embody. precision, compassion, innovation, truthfulness, healing, stabilization, and the ability to remain coherent while the world is changing. The memory becomes useful when it improves the way you live, not when it gives you a reason to feel superior or separate. Your origin, whatever language you use to understand it, should deepen your humility. If you feel connected to the stars, let that connection make you gentler with the life beneath your feet. If you sense a mission, let the mission make you more dependable, not more inflated. True remembrance does not place you above others. It reveals the sacredness of every consciousness moving through its own difficult awakening. The third shift is the recalibration of your energy body. When you've lived for years in environments that reward suppression, your system may confuse peace with emptiness and intensity with purpose. As your frequency recalibrates, you may need more silence. You may sleep differently. Your appetite, focus, emotional boundaries, and tolerance for stimulation may change. Give your body permission to translate what your consciousness has already begun to understand. Do not treat the body as an obstacle to spiritual development. The body is the vessel through which awareness learns texture, timing, touch, limitation, and choice. It is your earthly instrument. Just as a musical instrument requires tuning, your nervous system may need consistent care while it adjusts to new levels of honesty. Nourishing food, adequate rest, sunlight, movement, and time away from constant stimulation are not mundane distractions from your mission. They are part of the preparation. Grounding is essential here. Place your attention on your breath, your feet, the temperature of the room, and the simple reality of this moment. Multidimensional awareness is not an escape from the body. It is a deeper inhabiting of the body. The more present you become, the more accurately you can distinguish intuition from anxiety, recognition from projection, and alignment from impulse. Feel the ground beneath you as a quiet agreement. The earth is not asking you to prove that you belong here. It is holding you while you learn to carry expanded awareness through ordinary hours. If your thoughts become overwhelming, name 5 things you see, 4 things you feel, 3 things you hear, 2 things you smell, and 1 thing you appreciate. A simple return to the senses can restore the bridge between the infinite and the immediate. The fourth shift is anchoring the higher self into ordinary action. Your mission is not activated by imagining the future while neglecting the present. It activates when your expanded awareness enters your choices. You become more honest in your communication. You stop offering access to people who repeatedly violate your boundaries. You organize your time around what strengthens your signal. You complete what needs to be completed without allowing old obligations to define your identity. A higher timeline is not necessarily more glamorous. It may begin with a difficult conversation, a practical decision, a new routine, or the courage to stop delaying one small step. The higher self does not always speak in dramatic language. Sometimes it says, send the message. Sometimes it says, rest. Sometimes it says, learn the skill. Sometimes it says, leave the place where you keep shrinking. Alignment becomes real when insight is translated into behavior. Every day gives you a small doorway into the life you say you desire. The way you answer an email, the way you speak to your own body, the way you handle money, the way you protect your morning, and the way you respond to disappointment all become votes for a particular reality. Your destiny is not only shaped during great ceremonies, it is shaped in repeated, almost invisible choices. The fifth shift is learning to recognize movement before arrival. You may already be moving through the release of old attachments, the redirection of resources, the rearrangement of relationships, or the appearance of unexpected information. The outer transition can look disorganized while the deeper pattern is becoming precise. Not every closed door is a rejection. Not every delay is a punishment. Some delays prevent you from carrying an outdated identity into a new environment. Think of a river changing course beneath the surface. From above, the water may appear to circle the same stones, but underground, pressure is creating a new channel. Your life may seem repetitive, while the deeper current is preparing a breakthrough. The repeated conversation, the recurring dream, the sudden change in interest, or the unexpected meeting may be part of a pattern that will only become obvious in retrospect. This does not mean you should romanticize every disappointment or ignore practical responsibility. Discernment remains part of awakening. But when a path repeatedly closes despite your most honest efforts, and another path continues presenting itself through calm, consistent openings, study the pattern. The sign may not be a sudden miracle. It may be the persistent removal of what no longer matches you and the gradual strengthening of what does. The sixth shift is releasing the need to be witnessed before you move. Many starseeds wait for an audience to confirm their transformation. They want someone to say, "Yes, you are changing. Yes, this is your path. Yes, you are allowed to begin." But the new timeline may require a decision made before anyone understands it. Your soul does not need unanimous approval to follow a true coordinate. There is a difference between secrecy and sacred incubation. You do not have to announce every movement while it is still forming. Protect the early stages of your becoming from voices that only know how to relate to your past. Let the new pattern strengthen before you expose it to people who interpret unfamiliar growth as instability. Your silence can be a laboratory. Your privacy can be a form of energetic protection. A seed does not ask the forest for permission before it breaks open. It does not invite every passerby to examine its roots. It remains hidden until the inner structure is strong enough to meet the light. Some dreams need the same protection. Share them with people who can hold possibility without trying to possess it, reduce it, or redirect it toward their own comfort. The seventh shift is harmonic return. This is the moment when your inner and outer life begin to speak the same language. You no longer need to force yourself toward what is aligned. You still take action, but the action carries less desperation. You no longer chase signs because your own presence has become the sign. You recognize that the path is not asking you to become someone else. It is asking you to stop abandoning the one who has been present beneath every adaptation. You may notice that movement now comes through simplicity, a clear invitation, a practical opening, a new place, a conversation that changes your direction, a sudden ability to release what once controlled you. The more coherent your field becomes, the less theatrical the guidance may feel. It will not always arrive as lightning. Often, it will feel like a quiet sentence that remains true the next morning. This is where many people turn back. They expect the next phase to feel constantly exhilarating, but genuine alignment can feel calm. It may not produce the emotional intensity of struggle. It may feel unfamiliar because you had been trained to recognize importance through urgency. Do not mistake peace for lack of movement. The most powerful shifts often begin without noise. Your body may know before your circumstances reveal it. Your sleep may carry new imagery. Your attention may keep returning to a specific location, skill, person, or possibility. You may feel a gentle but persistent pressure to prepare. Organize your documents. Clear your space. Learn what you need to learn. Strengthen your finances. Heal the pattern that would otherwise follow you. These practical acts can be part of the transmission. The galactic path is not separate from earthly preparation. If you keep receiving an impression of change, ask what preparation would make you more capable of meeting it. If you sense travel, bring order to what must be arranged. If you sense a new vocation, begin learning before the opportunity arrives. If you sense a relationship shift, practice the honesty and boundaries that the new relationship will require. The future often sends preparation before permission. It gives you the tools before it reveals the assignment. The ultimate realization is that you are not waiting for movement to begin. Movement has already begun within you. The outer relocation, change in work, shift in relationship, or opening of a new chapter is the visible echo of an internal departure that may have been unfolding for months or years. You did not fail because you could not remain comfortable in places that were misaligned. You did not lose your direction because certain dreams dissolved. You were learning to recognize the difference between a destination and a container. Some containers were necessary for your development, but they were never meant to hold your entire future. The source, the intelligence moving through every living system, does not always reveal the next coordinate all at once. It gives you enough light to take the next honest step. Then, when you move with integrity, another portion becomes visible. This is why you may not have received the complete map. A complete map would have allowed the mind to control a journey that was designed to awaken the soul. Your signs are personal because your path is personal. What repeats in your field may not repeat in anyone else's. The number, phrase, dream, song, encounter, or inner sensation that reaches you is not meant to become a performance for others. It is a private language between your awareness and the life that is calling you forward. Do not force a sign to mean what fear wants it to mean. Do not turn every coincidence into an order. Instead, Ask what the pattern produces in you. Does it bring clarity, steadiness, courage, and grounded movement? Or does it create panic, obsession, and the need to escape your responsibilities? True alignment can be powerful, but it does not require you to surrender discernment. It makes you more present, more capable, and more honest. If you are moving very soon, the preparation may be less about packing a bag and more about releasing the identity that believes it must remain unchanged. The place you are entering may require a version of you who no longer apologizes for needing meaning, space, truth, or expansion. You are being asked to travel lightly not only in the physical sense, but emotionally. Leave behind the demand to be understood by everyone. Leave behind the habit of explaining your intuition to people committed to misunderstanding it. Leave behind the belief that you must suffer to prove your commitment. Tonight, or whenever you have a quiet moment, place one hand over your chest and one over your lower abdomen. Breathe slowly. Then say, I allow the next true coordinate to become clear. I release what distorts my signal. I move with discernment, courage, and grounded trust. Do not repeat these words to force an outcome. Speak them as a willingness to listen. Then ask yourself one question. What is the smallest real action that would honor the movement already happening within me? Let the answer be simple. A phone call, a page of research, a boundary, a walk, a decision to rest, a commitment to stop returning to what has already ended. You are not being asked to leap into uncertainty without awareness. You are being invited to recognize that certainty is often created through motion. The path becomes visible because you walk it. The next doorway responds to the coherence of your choice, and the more faithfully you follow what is clear, the less power confusion has over you. Remember this as the signs intensify. You are not being removed from your life. You are being repositioned within it. You are not being punished by the endings. You are being released from frequencies that cannot accompany you. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not waiting for permission from the universe to become who you are. The movement is not only toward a different place, it is toward a different relationship with your own consciousness. Wherever you go, your field goes with you. So prepare the field. Clear the resentment. Strengthen the body. Protect the imagination. Speak with precision. Choose what restores your signal. Let your next chapter be built from presence instead of panic. And if a part of you still feels afraid, let it come with you gently. You do not need to destroy every fear before moving. You only need to stop allowing fear to make every decision. Courage is not the absence of uncertainty. It is the decision to remain connected to yourself while uncertainty passes through. The sign has been appearing through your response to life. The old reality no longer satisfies the deeper truth you carry. The future is no longer a distant concept. It is beginning to communicate through your body, your attention, your choices, and the quiet insistence that something more aligned is approaching. You are not chasing the movement. You are becoming compatible with it. You are not begging the next timeline to open. You are clearing the interference that kept you from recognizing it, and when the moment arrives, you may realize that the door did not suddenly appear. You simply became present enough to see that it had been there all along. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real, then respond to someone else's with encouragement or energy. This isn't content, it's collective alignment. Energy multiplies when intention connects. If something in this message resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation. Share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow. You're not just watching, you're expanding. This is your space, and we're just getting started.